But this attack on the human body underpins everything you see. Telling little kids to take chemical castration. Destroying their lives forever because of something that you read in a French postmodernist theorist book in college, and now you're going to socially experiment on kids as a teacher or whatever, government bureaucrat in some school. It's mind-numbingly wicked and stupid and idiotic. But what would you expect from this hubristic monopoly of coercion? And you look at this attack on the body as it pertains to real foods. Can't eat foods from traditional cultures and traditional recipes, butter and real foods. You have to eat these synthetic perversions that sicken us, like seed oils. That harms the body. Then people become morbidly obese from eating these toxic products marketed to them as safe and healthy. And instead of helping them understand the truth of how to correct that, this religion on the left says, no, you should embrace the diseased seed oil driven obesity. You should embrace it as the new standard of beauty. This attack on the body extends to the unborn issue, right? If you can't see it with your own eyes, its body doesn't count. Get rid of it. We don't call it killing. We say another word, abortion. And now they're trying to get rid of that word, abortion, because it's these words are like containers that try to hide the violence. So instead of using kill, they said abortion. Now abortion tried to obfuscate it, but it's not doing its job. You can still see the violence, so they're going to try to come up with another word. See, I've got their religion completely exposed and unmasked and unveiled, and they've got nothing when you really open it up. When you look behind the veil, this is an attack on the human person, on the human body. Once you attack life, once you cheapen life, once you disembody people from their bodies, then you can numb them down completely to violence. You can have wars in perpetuity that feel like a video game. You know, it's just some explosions. It's exciting. Wow. Meanwhile, bodies are being torn asunder, and you're told, doesn't matter. We need to spread our religion to all the ends of the earth by force. This attack on the body has many forms. It's the medicalization of healing, right? Where people don't think of healing as an art in which the body should be seen holistically, but rather as a collection of mechanical parts that people can't figure out how to get their body to be systemically healed from a disease like diabetes or heart disease or an autoimmune disorder. They have to take medications that will mask the manifestations of those diseases, which are actually really just indicative of a holistic problem in the body. Again, denial of the human body. An attack on the human body. You're not healing the body in that kind of medical paradigm. You're just papering it over and making it sicker in the long term. We see this in so much of our society today. We see the attack on the body in the cheapening of sex. That sex should be a thing that rules over you, even if it means destroying families by, breaking families apart with adultery. People view sex as cheap now, as just something that's not important or sacred, and therefore there's an attack on the body in that. move. There's a disrespect for true innovation in the physical world, which connects to the body and atoms, right? We're supposed to believe in this quantum theory stupidity that doesn't even want to accept the concept of real material matter. Wants to create dualities and make equations on top of equations that are like a house of mirrors that doesn't actually explain the way the real world works. And there's no wonder that we have so much of the innovation taking place in the world of the mind, whether it's what we see taking place in big tech, right, where it's all about computer programming and codes, or in, HR and self-care and therapy culture and all this, what do I feel, as opposed to actually incarnational reality, embodying not just an idea, but becoming something, being action, right? When the Wright brothers decided to say that we think we have a way to help mankind have a contraption to fly, they didn't conceive of it as a virtual reality and ask society to help them understand their true identity as a bird, and to put feathers on them and put a beak and then, squawk around and demand everybody call them a bird. No, they created an idea that became incarnated into the physical world, and then they put their bodies on the line, skin in the game, and brought in a new paradigm of travel in the sky. Right? As opposed to what we have today, right? Where it's all about virtual reality, disembodiment. There are so many things left to be discovered in the natural world, but you have to have an incarnational reality to even have the courage to see and question and think about those things. We talked about elemental transmutation earlier in the week on our Science and You. A new paper emerged from India showing nickel being transmuted into gold in a tabletop device experiment. According to the Gnostic scientism religion, that's not supposed to happen. Whoops. So everything becomes just a house of mirrors when everything becomes separated from the importance of matter not being above and beyond the mind and spirit, but having equal importance, body and soul, equal importance, enmeshed together. That's something that this establishment religion, this new civic religion, absolutely hates. They want to keep everybody disrespecting the body, eating roaches, disrespect to your body. Right? Living in ugly communities that are not aesthetically pleasing is a disrespect to the human person, because it's not pretty. If it's not pretty, it's not beautiful, you're disrespecting incarnational reality. You're not living up to the best. You're not pursuing excellence. All of these things are religious. That's why it's so important for you to understand that everything you see is downstream from religion, including culture. And once you understand that, then you can see who saves us from religion, and that's Jesus. Jesus is the incarnational embodiment of the answer to religion and its errors, in its bigotries, in its blind destruction of others that don't conform and submit to its groupthink edicts. Jesus liberates the human body. It liberates the human body from rape culture, whereas the elite's religion of statism celebrates rape culture by putting millions of people into prison cages for nonviolent, victimless crimes in which rape is rampant. That's an attack on the human body. To put a human person in violence for a nonviolent act is to bear false witness against your neighbor and to injure their body in an act of aggression. But Jesus sets captives free. Statism lies and breaks apart bodies all over the world with bombs and sanctions that starve people. Jesus ends those wars and brings peace between mindless, stupid rivals around the world. The establishment religion maims and neuters people to make its profits in wars. The establishment religion attacks the unborn babies' bodies of women. The establishment religion convinces little kids to chemically castrate themselves and worse. Jesus heals wounds. He heals abused bodies. He heals scars. He heals physical impairments. He restores and makes all things new. And he doesn't do it through coercion. He does it through the power of working through the underground, working through the manger, not the big high temple. So DC can have its high temples of sacred worship. We'll go with the guy who came from a manger, and we'll change the world together. I'm David Gornoski. Godspeed.